Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a very interesting case we cover. I don't want to give too many details into it because you'll hear it soon enough, but it is one of those ones that really makes you wonder. But before we get into it, just want to give you a quick reminder, I'm a narrator on the Chilling app, the awesome horror app that features over 1,000 horror stories and over a dozen narrators, some of whom you might know from YouTube, as well as full-length novels and exclusive series and chilling originals. You can select and change the ambient sound in the background of the stories whenever you want without affecting the story you're listening to. And we release hours of new stories every week. Make sure to click the link in the description to download and start your free trial to see if you like it. And they often do a bunch of different giveaways, so make sure you're over there checking it out. Seriously, if you guys are looking for some more content that might even be darker than what YouTube allows, check it out. I just got done recording a couple hours of audio, and one of those stories is very crazy. Something you won't want to miss. And without any further ado, let's begin. Conrad and Heidi Truman got married on July 11, 2009. On a mountain in Park City, Utah. They made each other very happy, and they were very hopeful about their union. But after being married for 3 years, something changed. On the night of September 30th, 2012, they were watching television and drinking together when they had a small argument. What started as an ordinary night then turned tragic. Conrad then dialed 911.
911, what city is your emergency?
Dirci.
What address?
Please come quick.
Okay, tell me that one more time so I know I have it right. Okay, and I have officers headed over there. Tell me the phone number you're calling from, okay?
Cell phone.
I have officers on the way. I need to know what happened.
I don't know. I just heard something. I got blood.
Somebody, I'm sorry, I can't understand you. Hello, I need you to calm down for a minute. I understand. My partner is dispatching somebody. I need to know exactly what happened. Who is bleeding? Okay, no, I can't. You need to slow down. Calm down, okay? Okay? I can't understand you. You need to talk a little quieter, okay? Don't get echoing too bad. Okay?
I really don't know what happened. I swear to God. She came out of the shower. She came out of the shower, and I heard a pop, and there was blood, and she's in blood.
Okay. Tell me your name. What is your name? Okay. I have officers and paramedics on the way, okay? Okay.
The authorities arrived to find Heidi naked with a bullet wound to her head. There was blood in the kitchen, the sitting room, the bedroom, the bathroom, and Conrad himself was covered in blood. Oddly, Conrad let his dog walk around the house, compromising evidence. And while the police searched the premises, Conrad went to the bathroom without informing anyone. When the police asked him about weapons in the house, Conrad wouldn't give them a straight answer. He was very evasive. This was just the beginning of a string of suspicious acts that would put the authorities on Conrad's trail. At the hospital, Conrad rubbed Heidi's feet and kissed her forehead. He held her and apologized for not being able to protect her. He then asked out loud why Heidi would bother shaving her legs if she was going to kill herself. Most of what Conrad told the authorities that day was questionable. He initially said Heidi killed herself. Then he said a black man shot Heidi while she was in the shower, and that Heidi stumbled out of the shower and made it to the kitchen, where she finally collapsed and died. Conrad went further and claimed that he saw the man who did the shooting. Forensic evidence didn't match up with either story Conrad was pushing, and the police couldn't shake off Conrad's strange and erratic behavior the night they responded to his 911 call. So, they tried to follow up with him at his workplace, but he wasn't cooperative. He told the police, "You have questions, Well, they can wait until I'm ready. I don't know nothing, man. It took the police 10 months to gather evidence against Conrad before they arrested him. They found out that Heidi had an $880,000 life insurance policy and suspected Conrad of killing Heidi to collect the money. They set his bail at $1 million cash and charged him with first-degree murder and obstruction of justice. During Conrad's preliminary hearing, witnesses spoke about how he tried to cover up the truth with lies. He claimed Heidi killed herself before changing the story, saying that she was murdered by a black man. Police officer William Cook, who was on patrol that night, also came forward as a witness to describe what happened. He spoke about how Conrad kept threatening the police to save Heidi, and how generally agitated Conrad was. Officer Crook added, "Everything he said was just random and out of order. It made no sense." In response to the testimony from Officer William Crook, Conrad's defense said that Conrad was incoherent since he had been drinking when his wife was shot. They later started to advance a new theory about Heidi's death, that she likely shot herself while she was in the shower. They said she was holding a gun when she slipped and accidentally pulled the trigger. However, Heidi's mother, who also testified against Conrad, said her daughter had never been suicidal. Heidi had recently bought an expensive car and was planning a holiday with her mother, so the theory that Heidi was suicidal, which is what Conrad was claiming, just didn't make sense. At the same time, the police theory that Conrad was motivated by Heidi's life insurance policies were also suspect, because the couple was financially secure. In fact, nobody knew of any serious issues that Conrad and Heidi had. The entire tragedy was just unexpected. What's worse is there were no other witnesses apart from Conrad, and he was no longer a reliable source of information. Heidi's entire family was desperate for a conviction. They believed that Conrad was guilty. They were anxious for the entire ordeal to be over so that they could have some closure. Conrad's defense team, on the other hand, were adamant that there was a severe lack of evidence pointing to Conrad as the killer. They emphasized that nobody was in the bathroom to see what Heidi was doing with the gun, not even Conrad. It took 2 years since Heidi's death for a jury to find Conrad guilty of first-degree felony murder and second-degree felony obstruction of justice. Conrad's fortunes, however, took a turn a few years after his 2014 conviction. It turned out that some evidence the prosecution was using was not entirely accurate. For example, these details, where Heidi's body was and where she had come from, were central to the trial and the jury deciding Conrad was guilty. Even the defense knew this. So, in 2017, when Conrad appealed his conviction, the court acquitted him and he was a free man. But Conrad went further than that. He claimed that he was wrongfully imprisoned and interrogated, and that he was a victim of malicious prosecution. He sued the police and prosecution but lost the lawsuit. After all, his strange behavior, his lies, and the fact that nobody else was present when Heidi died all pointed towards him as a suspect, at the least. Heidi's family was disappointed that Conrad was set free, but they reaffirmed their commitment to advocating against domestic abuse, all in Heidi's name. They still believed Conrad killed Heidi, but in the eyes of the law, he's an innocent man. And years after Conrad's failed lawsuit against the prosecutors and police officers who had initially put him in jail for 4 years, a federal appeals court revived his lawsuit against the prosecutors specifically. The appeals court dismissed the claim against the police officers, but they felt that knowingly misrepresenting evidence, as the prosecution had done with this inaccurate scene diagram, was suspect. When Conrad alleged malicious prosecution, he might not have been lying. The lawyer who is under question is Craig Johnson. He was actually replaced for the second trial against Conrad. Since then, he continued to work at the court attorney's office. Interestingly, the attorney's office fired Craig after they found out he had received tickets to a Utah Jazz game from a defense attorney. We're yet to see if Conrad's newly revised lawsuit will lead anywhere. As for Heidi's death, the medical examiner had changed it from homicide to undetermined a long time ago. I really do appreciate you dropping in to check out this video. And And if you enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. So as you can tell, this story had a bunch of twists and turns. It's really hard for us to understand what happened either, considering everything's hearsay at this point. I feel awful for the family, and at the same time, if dude was innocent, then feel even more horrible for him too. As of now, all we can do is speculate, but the court found him innocent. I want to wish you all a happy new year, and I appreciate all your help and support throughout the years. And here's to a good 2023. I will catch you in the next video. And just remember, it's always scarier if it's true. Bad bye.